Good day, ma'am. This is Janet P. Bambalan, B. Scream 1. My second output of CLG 1. Other law enforcement agency bureaus, offices, Department of Government. Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency is responsible for efficient law enforcement of all provision on any dangerous drug and or precursors and essential chemical. The PDEA shall exercise operational provision and provide technical support to the main task force created by the PNP. This is the logo of Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Bureau of Customs. The Bureau of Customs is a Philippine government agency under the Department of Finance. The Bureau of Customs was established on February 6, 1902 by the Insular Government of the Philippines Island of the United States of America during the American colonial era of the Philippines. Prevention and suppression of smuggling and other frauds upon customs. Supervision and control other the entrance and clearance of vessel and aircraft engaged in the foreign commerce. Enforcement of tariff and customs laws and all other laws, rules, and regulations relating to the tariff and customs administration. This is the logo of Bureau of Customs. Bureau of Fire Protection. The Bureau of Fire Protection is a government body in the Philippines responsible for the provision of fire service. It is under the jurisdiction of the Department of Interior and Local Government. The BFP is responsible for ensuring public safety through prevention and or suppression of all destructive fire on buildings, houses, and other similar structure, forest and land transportation, vehicle and equipment, ships, vessels docked at piers, wharves, or anchored at major seaports, petroleum industry installation. And this is the logo of Bureau of Fire Protection. Philippine Coast Guard is the country vanguard against the entry of in-state foreign vessels into the country through its port state control. The Philippine Coast Guard is mandated and responsible to perform maritime search and rescue, maritime law enforcement, maritime safety, maritime environmental protection, and maritime security. This is the logo of Philippine Coast Guard. Bureau of Internal Revenue. The Bureau of Internal Revenue is an agency of the Department of Finance. BIR collects more than half of the total revenues of the government. Cesar Dolay is the current commissioner of BIR. Reduction and collection of all internal revenue taxes, fees, and charges, and enforcement of all forfeitures, penalties, and fines connected therewith, including execution of judgment in all cases decides in its favor by the Court of Tax Appeal and the ordinary courts. It shall also give the effect of the administer supervisory and police power conferred to it by the National Internal Revenue Code and special law. This is the logo of Bureau Internal Revenue. Commission on Election or COMELEC is an independent constitutional. The Commission on Election is a premier guardian of the ballot. Its principal role is to enforce and administer all laws and regulations relative to the conduct or election plebiscites, initiative, referendums, and recalls. The Election Commission has the right to allow symbols to political parties. It gives recognition to the national parties, state parties, and regional parties. It sets limit on poll expenses. The Commission prepare electoral rules and update the voters' lists from time to time. This is the logo of Commission on Election. Philippine Port Authority is a government-owned and controlled corporation under the Department of Transportation as an attached agency. It is responsible for financing, management, and operation of public ports throughout the Philippines except the Port of Cebu. which is under the Cebu Ports Authority. The PPA is primary government agency concerned with the planning and developing the country seaports. Established in 1974, the PPA's charter was amended by the Executive Order 857, which expanded its function to include the integration and coordination of ports nationwide. This is the logo of Philippine Ports Authority. Anti-Money Laundering Council. Anti-Money Laundering Council is agency of the government of the Philippines that is tasked to implement the provision of Republic Act Number 9160, also known as Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2001, as amended and Republic Act Number 10168, also known as Terrorism Financing Prevention and Suppression Act of 2012. Anti-money laundering is authorized to inquire into or examine the particular bank deposits or investment that are deemed related to an unlawful activity or money laundering offense. And this is the logo of Anti-Money Laundering Council. Bureau of Immigration. The Bureau of Immigration, also known between 1972 and 1987 as the Bureau of Immigration and Deportation, is the immigration regulatory and control body of Philippines. The Bureau of Immigration is principally responsible for administration and enforcement of immigration, citizenship, and alien admission of registration laws in accordance with the provision of the Philippine Immigration Act 1940. The Bureau was given the sole authority to enforce and administer immigration and foreign national registration laws, including the admission, registration, exclusion, and deportation and repatriation of foreign nationals. This is the logo of Bureau of Immigration. Land Transportation Office, or LTO, is an agency of the Philippine government under Department of Transportation responsible for all land transportation in the Philippines. It aims to be frontline government agency that showcases fast and efficient public service for the progressive land transport sector. Functions of LTO include the inspection and registration of motor vehicles, insurance of license and permits, enforcement of land transportation rules and regulation, and adjudication of traffic cases. This is the logo of LTO. National Bureau of Investigation is an agency of the Philippines government under the Department of Justice responsible for handling and solving major light-profile cases that are in interest in the nation, investigate violation of the laws of the United States, and collect evidence in cases in which United States may be a party in interest, except in cases in which such responsibility is by statute or otherwise specifically assigned to another investigative agency. And this is the logo of National Bureau of Investigation. Public Attorney Office, or PAO. PAO is an attached agency of the Department of Justice which provide indigent litigant free legal assistance, provide indigent litigant free access to court, judicial, and quasi-judicial agencies by rendering legal assistance in consonance with the constitutional mandate that free access to the court shall not be denied by reason of poverty. And this is the logo of Public Attorney Office. Bureau of Corrections is an agency of the Department of Justice which is charged with the custody and rehabilitation of national offenders who have been sentenced to 3 years of imprisonment or more. The agency has its headquarters in New Bilibid Prison Reservation in Muntinlupa. To maximize the asset value of Bucor to effectively pursue its responsibility in safety, securing transforming nation prisoners through responsive rehabilitation program managed by professional correctional office. And this is the logo of Bureau of Correction, Parole and Probation Administration, abbreviated as PPA, is an agency of the Philippine government under the Department of Justice responsible for providing a less costly alternative to imprisonment of first-time offenders who are likely to respond to individualized community-based treatment program. The Parole and Probation Administration is mandated to conserve and or redeem convicted offenders and prisoners who are under the probation or parole system. And this is the logo of Parole Probation Administration. Lastly, Presidential Commission on Good Government is a quasi-judicial government agency or Philippine whose primary mandate is to recover ill-gotten wealth accumulated by Ferdinand Marcos, his immediate family, relatives, subordinates, and close associates, whether located in the Philippines or abroad. And this is the logo of Presidential Commission on Government. That would be all, and thank you for listening.